Hey, Shalom Markins, Rakam Bakapash from James London, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chachwadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hopeful elect, whose needs truth and all sincerity. Back again with another video. I'm going to entitle this one something along the lines of, you know, Egypt didn't get away with it, right? So how will America get away with enslaving the Israelites, man? Right? You know, you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man, the oppression that they have put our people under. Okay, we went through the same thing in Egypt, and Egypt got destroyed for doing that, right? But you so-called white people, you Edomites, you believe that you can do this and you can get away with it. That's what you believe. You think, oh, we can just forget about that. We can all just move on, and you don't have to pay for none of that, man. But Egypt had to pay. Okay, Egypt had to pay. Okay, as will you, Esau, right? You were going to pay too. Okay, so I'm going to start reading here from Habakkuk chapter 2. I'm going to grab verse 12 here, right? It says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establish a city by iniquity, right? So the land of America, right? Not just the land of America, but, we're going to focus on the land of America because that is the focus point of the Lord's great judgment, right? That place, that land, is going to be burnt with thermonuclear fire, man. Utterly wasted, utterly destroyed, okay, without inhabitant. Right? America is that focal point in prophecy. So we're going to concentrate on that place for now, right? So we all know when you so-called white people went over to land to the Americas, right? Okay, you weren't the first people to find it, right? Columbus and them, man, you weren't the first people to find nothing, right? There was indigenous people there already, right? And we know through the scriptures that these people that you found were the Israelites, and your peoples knew that too. That's why you had Hebrew interpreters with you, right? The Torres or whatever his name was, right? He was with Columbus as the interpreter of the Hebrew language, right? So you weren't the first people there. Okay, the Israelites are already there, okay, living and thriving, and albeit going off, they were still going off, they're still being wicked and that, and that's why the Lord sent you Edomites, you devils over there to persecute us. But we was there, right? And what did you decide to do? Okay, murder us, okay, with Gadites and Iskarites and all the the Naphtali and all them guys, right? You oppressed them, destroyed their land, took their land from them. Right? It didn't belong to you, but you went over there and did that. Okay, you shed a lot of blood, right? And then the scripture says, "Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood." Okay, it wasn't yours, but how you built was based on all this death and destruction that you brought. And then to add to that madness that you did, you enslaved the Negroes, man. From the west coast of Africa, you enslaved us and brought us over there to build for free and to be abused and all kinds of atrocities, that took place under your hand, man. Right. So by definition of everything that you've done in the land of America, man, it's been established by blood. All right. And the Lord says, woe to him. And woe means destruction. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establisheth a city by iniquity. Okay. The whole of America has been established by iniquity. Okay. So from the get-go, it doesn't look good for you. All right. So Deuteronomy 28 verse 68 says this, saying, the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Right. We mentioned Egypt. We was in slavery in Egypt. The Egyptians had us serving with great rigor. Okay. Building their treasured cities. Okay. Just like you got Jake building your cities, your treasured cities. Okay. Your famous cities. All right. Through the blood, sweat and tears of our ancestors, man. You did that. right? But it says we should be brought into Egypt again with ships, right? And again, I mentioned the transatlantic slave trade, right? Where you took the Negroes off the west coast of Africa and you transported them over to the Americas, over to the Caribbeans and Europe, all right? We went into Egypt again. We went into bondage again, serving that hard rigor, okay? This is where by the way of I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye should be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Right? No man shall deliver us. No man shall redeem us or save us from our oppressors, from our captivity, and that is true to this day. Right? Being having the chains, you know, taken off us doesn't mean we're free. Doesn't mean, you know, we've been delivered, because we're still in the hand of our enemies. We still live in their land, or the land that they've taken, right? Under their rulership, under their laws, under their ways. Okay, we don't rule ourselves. Okay, we're being ruled by the so-called white man and his system, and that we can't escape, no matter where we go on the earth. All right, we're still waiting to be saved. We're still waiting to be redeemed, because the word "buyer" here is the old English word for redeemed. Right? That's why we're waiting upon the Lord to redeem us. None of these nations and none of these rulers are looking to reestablish us. Okay, they want us as their citizens, as their property, you know, subject to them. Okay, but we're not meant to be subject to nobody. Only the Heavenly Father and His Son. Okay, but no man on earth. We're meant to be subject under man. We're meant to be rulers of in the earth. All right, so we're not free. We're not been saved. Okay, fuck Abe. All right, he never did shit. All right, the Lord eased our affliction, but we're still in the hands of our enemies. All right. Just trying to see here. Okay, it is up there. I'll get it. Right. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 2. I'm going to start from the top. Right. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. They covet fields and take them by violence. Okay, that's what Esau's done. And that's how he was prophesied to live. He lives by violence. He lives by the sword. Okay, that was the blessing that was given to him. Right. That's why the so-called white man, has all the trademarks of being the Edomite. You know, and spiritually Cain. Okay, he has all the trademarks. Right, that's how we know who he is. He's the last ruler, the end time ruler before the kingdom of heaven. As the scriptures say, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, he is the end times ruler. Okay, the so-called white man. Okay, these Edomites, right? So they covet fields, because he the most covetous out of all people. Because hey, look at he was given inheritance, right? But he's gone over the whole earth, taking everybody else's, man, and he looks to take even more from people. And that's why they have these organizations like the WEF talking about how you're going to own nothing. Because Esau's more covetous than any person in the earth, man. Okay, he doesn't want anyone to have anything. Right? So then take them by violence and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Right? He stopped us being who we were. He stole our identity. He took on our identity, put himself up as being, the Israelite or the God's chosen people. He calls himself the JOOs. He's not even a fulfillment of anything to do with that. But he's constantly oppressing us in this world. Okay, in this world, we're not allowed to claim that we're the Israelites. That's nonsense to him, right? That people don't, he don't want no one believing that we're the Israelites, or the fact that he's the Edomite. Okay, he don't want no one believing in all that. All right. So therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, against this family, right? These Edomites are cursed people, man. Okay, they're cursed unto the judgment of the Lord. All right. This is Against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. So like I said, we're coming to the end of Esau's rulership. Okay, and this is why this kingdom is falling apart all around us as we speak it. All right, this kingdom hasn't got much time left. All right, like I mentioned before, this is the way that Esau was given to live, the blessing that he received. All right. So this is from Genesis 27, verse 39. It said, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion. So he was told that he was going to have dominion. He was told he was going to live by the sword. But ultimately, Jacob received the greater blessing, and so that you will, you're going to end up serving your brother. But he says you're going to have the dominion at some point. And this point in time is now. Beginning with the Greeks, the Romans. Okay, and now this second leg of the Roman Empire, man, this reestablishment of the Roman Empire. Okay, this short season, okay, that he's been given, since the Dark Ages, right? So that's that time. This is this time. Okay, at least for a little season, right? Anyway, it says, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck, right? So he'll have the reign, okay? But that reign's coming to an end, because ultimately Jacob, the Israelites, have the blessing over you, man. All right? And this is the mentality you've had ever since, right? This is verse 41 said, and Esau hated Jacob. See, Esau hates Jacob, but Jacob is the righteous. And what does the scripture say? Blessed is he that blesseth thee, and cursed be he that curseth thee. That's why Esau could never win. We are ultimately protected by the Heavenly Father, man. Right? And Esau can't do a damn thing against that. Right? But Esau actually hates us. These Edomites, these so-called white people actually hate us, man. All right? Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing whereof his father blessed him, because it was the greater blessing, right? And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. And Esau been constantly slaying us and destroying us every opportunity that he found throughout history. Because they know they lost out on something great, something that he could never get back. Okay, which is the kingdom of heaven, the glory. Esau could never have that. So Esau means to get it by another way, by his carnal way. Through his technology, man, through his witchcraft. But it's all going to fail. It's Amos chapter 1 verse 11. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword. And like I said, you traveled the earth just to find us, man, and enslave us. We weren't bothering you. God, the Northern Kingdom, the Northern Kingdom tribes, man, they weren't bothering you, man. They were all over in the Americas, not bothering nobody. Okay, they were doing more damage to themselves than anything else, right? You went all the way over there just to destroy them and take their land from them. And like I said, you travel to the west coast of Africa just to pick up Israelites to take over to build America, your plantation, man. Because it says he did pursue his brother with the sword. He pursued us, man. He didn't want to leave us alone. And did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually. Perpetually, something that's never ended, just cycles round continuously, right? His anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. Okay, and like I said, even though these elites are in power right now, man, they're still, they're still in that spirit against us, man. Because our existence threatens them. It's not something that they would admit in the open, but our very existence threatens them. And that's why he needs to, MOTB us all. That's what he wants. Because he knows the Lord will destroy them. Or that he'll have, Esau will have total control over them. But our very existence, especially the existence of the prophets, is a problem for him. You know, Ezekiel 35 verse 5 says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, prepare you unto destruction, right? And blood shall pursue thee. If thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Right? So you didn't shy away from, your conquests and what you've done against us, man. And like I said, you think that all this wickedness and all this evil that you brought upon our people, the Israelites, who are God's chosen people, by the way, who are God's sons, and you think you're going to get away with doing that. So I'm going to remind you, the Egyptians never got away with it. The Egyptians had the Israelites in hardcore captivity too. Had them working, had them working, had them murdered. The various pharaohs, man, they had us killed. The boy childs, the male children that were being born had us killed off. You know, and then you got your Planned Parenthoods and whatever, man. You're doing the same things, right? Finding ways to destroy our people and try and keep our numbers down. But what happened with Egypt? The numbers increased. It's the same issue you're having. Jade ain't going away. You destroy millions of us. I don't even know the number. I know it's got to be a lot, millions of us. Yearly. The so-called black one probably, in the abortion clinics actually probably half of that. But Jade getting killed by the millions, right? Every year. For some form or for some way or form, that attributes to Esau. All right, yet Jake's numbers still increase. All right, so it's a problem to you. All right, but anyway, read that again. So, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. If thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, and in thy hills and in thy valleys and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are stained with the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return. Right? America, this is what it's speaking about. The Lord's going to bring a great destruction in the land of America. It's not going to return. Hey, it's not going to return. Okay? It says, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. Because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine. Okay, talking about the north and south kingdoms of Israel. The kingdom of Judah and the kingdom of Israel. Okay? Which makes up the whole 12 tribes. You sit upon our people in America, upon all the 12 tribes, because all the 12 tribes are in America. In their masses. Right? Because obviously we're scattered throughout the four corners of the earth also, but as a collective, we're all there in one place. Under your rulership in America. Right? You have control over us. You have control over our land. Right? It says, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine. They're your possessions. We're not your possessions, man. You're meant to be serving us, by the way. We ain't your possessions. Okay, we're the possession of the Heavenly Father. Okay, you're fucking with the Heavenly Father's people. His possessions. That's what you're fucking with right now. All right? So we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Right? So, you're going to be our Lord. You're going to be our power, our God over us. You're going to tell us what to do. And you have been. All right? Because therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will even do according to thine anger. Okay, going back to Esau's anger again, man, and how he's treated us. Right? So he will do even according to thine anger and according to thine envy. Like I say, you're jealous, man. You're hurt at the fact that you didn't get the blessing because you sold it. Right? And like I said, any opportunity that you found that, you know, we're in a compromised situation, you took full advantage of that. You know, it made you happy. It made you happy to get one over us, man, and to have us underneath you. Okay, you joyed. Okay, you celebrated. Even even when you know, you was lynching us, man. You know, you send those postcards, man. You're all happy, man, that you was getting lynched, you were getting hung, getting burnt, getting marred, getting torn apart, getting ripped apart. You was all happy, man. Oh man, so you loved you loved all that shit, man. The power that you had over us, you know. And it's not the same sort of power that you have now. You know, you can't just put your hands on us that easy, man, because Jacob bust you in the eye. But you know, you know, but you know, this witchcraft and this mind fuckery that, you know, beginning with these elites on down, right? They perpetrate on our people, man. Has got our people all messed up in the mind, man. Got us singing to the tune of Esau in his system, man. You know. So the elites are still laughing, man, because they high above. They're not around you, Jake, man. They're well above you. They ain't around you, man. They ain't gonna worry about you, so they don't care. They ain't gonna care that, you know, the rest of these Edomites got to deal with you. They don't care about their own people, you know. But they revel in the fact that, you know, they got you stupefied, man. You know, making them money and all kinds of things, man. You're just a good slave, you know, just without the change, man. You're just willingly jumping through fucking hoops, man. So they take pride in that, man. They love that shit. Anyway, so therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. And I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. How's that? Because the Most High is going to deliver his elect out of the nation of Israel. But you're going to be judged. Esau's going to be judged. Okay, you're not getting away. Okay, we're not going to sweep shit under the rug. You know, you're going to pay for exactly what your people did. We don't care if you're, you know, oh, that's my great grandfather, and we don't care about that. The Most High doesn't care about that. You know, you're failing to understand how the Lord does things, man. How He punishes people. You're failing to understand how He did that. Because what did the children of Egypt that got killed off, the firstborn, what did they have to do with the Israelites being in slavery? Were they innocent? On a deep level, no, they weren't. But neither are you. You ain't innocent either. Okay, you will pay for the sufferings of the Israelites, of our people, the Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You will pay for the sufferings, man. Okay, you will be judged. And no, the Lord ain't forgetting about what you've done. All right. This is and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. Right? And in a way they were, but in a way we weren't, because we're not to be forever in your hand. Okay, going back to the blessing in Genesis 27 concerning Esau, he said that he had the dominion over us. So yeah, the Most High sent you to chastise us, right? So He put us in your hands to chastise us, and you've been the devil against us, right? You've been Satan against us, the adversary, right? But we don't belong to you, man. We are not your property. Okay, we are not yours to do as you please with, man. To fulfill your own dark desires, your to fulfill your envy and your hatred, man. That's not what we're here for, right? That's why you're gonna pay for your wickedness against us, man, because it's on a higher fucking level, man. All right. Verse 13 says, "Thus with your mouth you have boasted against me." Okay, you transgress against the Heavenly Father, man. Doing all this madness that you've been doing, man. Right? "And have multiplied your words against me, I have heard them. Thus saith the Lord power, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate." Right? There's going to come a point in time, you know, after the heathen have received their judgment and their punishment, right? In the kingdom of heaven, in the new earth, right? that people are going to rejoice because this earth is going to be beautified, right? And he's, everyone's going to rejoice, but you're going to be destroyed. You're going to be gone. You're going to be desolate. You're not going to get to enjoy the earth, right? You're going to be gone. Right? It says, and as thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord. Right? So Esau's going to be judged. His land, his posterity, his children, his people, they're all going to be destroyed, man. Okay, and the land is going to be inherited by the tribe of Judah. Okay, but because you ain't going to have no need for land, because you ain't going to be around. All right. It's Baruch chapter 4, verse 31. It says, miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice at thy fall. So like I said, man, these Edomites are happy they're in the position that they're in, how they're set above us, which is understandable. Everybody wants to be on top, right? So everyone's going to be happy that they're on top. But the point is that you're not meant to be. Okay, we're meant to be on top. Right? So miserable are all they that afflicted thee, and rejoiced at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. So like I said, you took us into captivity. You had us working and building your cities, right? Building your states, building your countries, and all of that, right? Like I said, all while he was abusing us and murdering us and torturing us, killing us, and doing all kinds of things, man. Buck breaking and all kinds of foul abominations, man, that you were doing. Right? Miserable are the cities, man. Everywhere that we went, everywhere that you took us to build and to serve, they're all going to be destroyed. Okay, because we're not slaves. Okay, scripture say we're not, is Israel a homeborn slave? No, we're not. Right? So every place that took us, that used us, okay, is a curse unto you. A curse to everything that you've done. Right? Just as it was a curse unto Egypt before it was destroyed. Right? For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. Yeah, you're gonna be in straits, man. You're gonna be in pain when your shit starts falling apart, like proper. Because you think you're in some sort of control or some self-demolition job, with this current system, man, and gonna set up a new one. But you ain't gonna get the chance to set up a new one. Okay, you're gonna get in position, and then the Yahweh Shai is gonna turn up, man, and fuck up your day. Fuck up your whole rest of your life. The rest of your existence. Right? That's what it's gonna be. Okay, you're not gonna get the chance to do that, to consolidate your power. All right. Verse 34. For I will take away the rejoicing of a great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure. The Lord's been long suffering, watching you devils, do all the madness that you've been doing on the face of the earth, man. We're all vexed watching it, but the Most High is even more vexed watching you devils do what you do, or hearing what you devils be doing out here, man. All the crimes you've done against these children. The Lord is super vexed. Right? That's why you're going to see such a great judgment. Right? So, for I will take away the rejoicing of a great multitude, and the pride shall be turned into mourning. For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. Right? O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from God. Lo, thy sons come whom thou sentest away. They come together, gathered together from the east to the west, by the word of the Holy One, by this truth, man. And this is what you're witnessing, man. Brothers from all over the earth being gathered together in one, according to this doctrine, man, according to this word, all under Yahweh Shai. Okay, we're being brought together. All right. This is they come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of God. Because we know the outcome of all this, man. We know the Lord's gonna defend his people, that he's gonna take vengeance against our enemies. So we're gonna glory in the Most High. Because we have zero power to do anything about our situation, man. Okay, we are prey in this world. Okay, Jacob is prey, right, to these Edomites, to these other nations. We're just prey, man. People to be used, and that's all that happens to us. We get used in this world, man. Live a life full of fucking hardship. You know. So we glory in the Heavenly Father, knowing that He's going to turn all this around for us, man, and reestablish us as the the disciples, the apostles asked Yahweh Shai, will thou at this time restore the kingdom to Israel? We're waiting to be reestablished, man, to be restored, right? To set up the kingdom of heaven. That's what we're waiting for. Okay. This is Exodus 1 verse 11, right? Because I mentioned this earlier. Yeah, let's look at verse 11 here. It says, therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. Right, so like I said, you've used us to build you build these cities, build your towns, build your country up. Okay, build your economy. Because hey, we worked for free, right? You weren't paying us. You fed us and gave us some type of clothing. But you weren't paying us, man. You had free labor. All that money you didn't spend, all that money you saved, that made all you devils rich, man. That continues to this day. And when it came out about what was it, man? You devils getting paid out for the loss of income during slavery, man. But the slaves weren't paid off. They weren't given nothing. But you slave owners, man, your families, man, you were still getting paid out up until a year or two ago, man. A few years ago. Still getting payouts. But Jake ain't been getting nothing from you, man. Nothing from you devils. All right. Verse 12, though, it says, but the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. All right, so I mentioned that earlier, man. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. So, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. Okay, and that's what you did with us, in the Americas, man. Probably even worse. Because the stuff that is documented and how you were treating us in slavery, man, is fucking diabolical. Suitable to the devil. And like I said, the Lord didn't give Egypt a pass, man. Egypt didn't get a chance to say sorry. Egypt was to be punished. And we know the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, man. And what Pharaoh decided affected all people in Egypt. Okay? It affected every last single person in Egypt, man, regardless if they had a Hebrew servant or not. There's a scripture that in the Apocrypha, man. Actually, I can find out. I know how that goes. Servant, master, Apocrypha. All right, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18. Let's get verse 11 here. The master and the servant were punished after one manner, and like as the king, so suffered the common person. So they altogether had innumerable dead with one kind of death, neither were the living sufficient to bury them, for in one moment the noblest offspring of them was destroyed. For whereas they would not believe anything by reason of the enchantments upon the destruction of the firstborn, they acknowledged this people to be the sons of God. And the Most High going to do this all over again, man. At the end of all this judgment, all this destruction, all the miracles that are going to take place, you're going to acknowledge us to be the sons of God, man. It ain't going to be up for debate no more. We fit everything that's ever happened to us in the scriptures. Right? Up until this day. And so when it was revealed, man, when all this judgment comes upon the land of America, upon these Edomites and their system, you're going to know, man, that you've been the devil from the very beginning. Right? This whole time. Okay, liars, deceivers. And that you're all going down, you're all being punished. All right? So back in Exodus 1, chapter 14, said, and they made their lives bitter. Didn't you make our lives bitter? Are our lives still bitter? You know, dealing with being at the bottom, trying to do every job in the world just to make ends meet. You know, and when Jay can't make ends meet, they end up on the street, end up strung up on drugs to escape the fucking reality of their fucking depressed and fucked up lives. Oh, do we not live in a bitter state? Are we not in a bitter state? So then they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick, and all manner of service in the field. All their service, wherein they made them serve, was with rigor. Everything that we do. You think getting a record deal, you know, is exempt from that? No, the man, their ass is painful, bro. You know, their ass is hurting. Rigor, right? Everything Jake do, it comes with rigor, it comes with bitterness. In everything that we do. All right. I'll read on for this point as well. It said the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Sephara, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women and see them upon the stalls, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. All right. So, like I said, you know, they look to kill our children, man. And no doubt, a lot of them did die. You know, but we know the story of Moses, how he was delivered from that fate. You know, but no doubt our children were dying, man. Just like today. And it's funny because it's well known that the medical attention that, you know, these so-called black women receive is of a lower quality, man, than what these Edomites get. You know, it's almost like it's done on purpose, right? But no, it's the same sort of thing, man. You know, for whatever reason it is, with lower quality of care in the more deprived areas or whatever, man, these Edomites get treated better, right? Whatever the reason is, right? These Edomites get treated better, man, and more medical mishaps happen with you so-called black women. Funny enough, right? Same thing that's sort of here that's being commanded, you know, to have these children destroyed, man. This is where was I? Verse 17, but the midwives feared God and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have you done this thing, and have saved the men children alive? And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. Therefore God dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. And like I say, even though our conditions are bad, okay, Jake still show talent and ability beyond what they should even possess. And this is what Esau always exploits, or tries to exploit, okay, by using guys that feel like they need to show their talents, man. And that's why they get hooked into sports and music and all these types of things, and they get taken advantage of because they have great talent. Okay, that, you know, when you have great talent, man, it's a shame when you can't use it. You know, it feels like a wasted life, you know, a waste of ability for you not to be able to use that. And it's true. The Most High giving people different kinds of talents, and even though some guys can just bounce a fucking ball, which is obviously not a real big deal in the scheme of things. Okay, but athletically, man, they're very capable, right? Or the intelligence to play, these certain games on a higher level. The Lord has given them talents, even though in the end, ultimately it's not gonna serve them well, because you know that talent's not gonna save them, right? Whereas the spirit of this truth, of this understanding, is a talent in itself, and has been given unto the elect, which is the greatest talent you can receive. Doesn't mean we're exceptionally good at anything particularly else, but we have this truth, man. Okay, which is the greatest talent, okay, to have. But even so, in our deplorable state, okay, Jake, they stand out. Okay, we stand out, man. And all the gods are against us, and it should never really happen. you know, it should never really happen, man. But it still does, and it makes these other nations that have the better living qualities and stuff like that, it makes them look stupid, man. Makes them look bad. How are you going to deprive a man, a people, a country, like let's say, Africa? We know Nigeria, what they have the smartest couple or child or something like that. I can't fully remember, but like you're going to deprive a people of certain resources that the first world have got with the education, healthcare, and all this kind of stuff, and you can't even produce the smartest people. You know what I'm saying? You can't even produce the best athlete. You can't even produce, whatever it is. But Jake and these poorer states, poorer countries, and whatever, man, they can come up with that stuff, man, on a regular. It's not even. It's not even just the odd one. A lot of Jake are just talented in these things, but not all of them make it. It is what it is. There's so much talent among Jake. It's not even funny. But you people that are out here ruling the world, you struggling, man. You small hats, man. You struggle to do anything. all you know, is vampirism, man. That's all you know what to do. But you're not talented in anything other than wickedness. Anyway, a bit of a segue there, but we're moving on, right? What's the point, though? Really, right? Trying to put our children to death, our people to death, right? Exodus 3 verse 7, right? It says, and the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt. You don't think the Lord saw the affliction of you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans in the land of America? You don't think the Lord saw that? You think the Lord was blind at that moment in time? The Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters. Were we not crying out? Were we not singing those Negro spirituals, man, hoping for a fucking better day that just seemed to never come? We just underhand you dealt day after day after fucking day with your fucking barbarous nature. Was that not us? We were the ones crying. We're the ones still crying for justice and fucking equality and shit. We're still the ones crying. You don't think the Lord has heard all of this? He says, I have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. You Edomites are in power, man. What sorrows you got? Oh, you didn't make an extra 20 billion this year. Oh man, only made 15. you bro, the Lord has heard everything that's gone on among our people. There's a lot of pain amongst our people, man. The Lord have heard of all our sorrows. And it says here, I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians. And the Lord's coming to deliver his elect out of the hand of you Edomites, man, out of all nations. Okay, that's what's going to happen now. And to bring them up out of the land unto a good land and a large. Okay, we're going to be returning back home. our home, our land, our country, the land of Israel, the Lord's going to take us back. Okay, we're going to be taken out the hand of our enemies and taken back home. Right, so out of that land unto a good land and large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites, because that's who were occupying that land before we was given that land, right? The Canaanites. But you got a bunch of heathen there now that are dwelling in the land. You know, Edomites, these Amalekites, right? You got these Palestinians there. These Arab nations that they're in there, and they all got to go. Just like we removed these nations that were there before us, they're going to be removed again, because the land doesn't belong to them. Okay, the Lord had given it to the children of Israel, His people. Right? It says, unto the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel has come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression where the Egyptians oppressed them. The Lord have watched and had it recorded, everything that you devils have ever done, even the stuff that we don't even know about. All those things that weren't recorded, because a lot of stuff was recorded, but I say a lot of some of things, which seems like a lot when you go through it, but it's only a small piece of things that were recorded. Right? There's so much that's not been recorded. All this wickedness that you've done that wasn't recorded. Okay, the Lord has a record of it, man. There is nothing secret to the Lord. There's nothing hid from the Lord. So when the Lord brings you judgment, man, it's going to be a full judgment, appropriate for your crimes, man. All right. It says, come now, therefore, I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. Right. And, it's kind of like now the Lord's got his prophets out there, teaching this truth, man. Awaken the elect in the four corners of the earth. Telling our people the Lord is on his way. Yahweh Shai is being sent. It's coming to deliver us out of the hand of our enemy, man. For the whole world to see and to acknowledge. All right. Is Revelation chapter 13, verse 10. It says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Right? So you can't escape the fact that you've done all this to us. That you took us in cargo slave ships, you took us to the land of America, you murdered, the tribes that were in the Americas before you even got there. And like I said, you had us all in oppression. You can't say you haven't done all these things, man, and you're walking around the earth like you never done nothing wrong. That what you did was somehow right, and that you shouldn't have to pay for it. Well, you're wrong. You're the one that's in the wrong. You're wrong. Okay, the Most High requires payment. Right? The Most High is going to make you pay. Right? And you're going to go into captivity, man. And you're going to be killed. Everything that you've done unto everybody else, and like specifically our people, is going to happen unto you. You reap what you sow. Doesn't matter how long it takes you to reap what you sowed. Okay, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen to you, man. Right? Crap. What was it? So just come on mind. Ecclesiastes chapter 8 verse 11 says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Right? So I said that Esau has become proud because he's gotten away with his wickedness, because he hasn't been judged straight away. But the only reason why it hasn't happened straight away, one, because the Israelites needed to learn a lesson to fit our crimes, right? And two, the Lord wants to give you maximum judgment. And maximum judgment can't be done in one day, right? So you've been given a short season to do all this wickedness, to accumulate your wickedness, so the Lord can accumulate the judgment. to show the whole earth, man, this great judgment that's going to happen on the face of the earth, right? To show his power, okay? It says, verse 12, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days are prolonged. You've had a prolonged time. You as a nation have had a prolonged time, man, and you've gotten away with so much shit, right? But it says, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear God, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked. It's not going to be well with you Edomites, man. Don't care what excuses you want to throw up. So neither shall he prolong his days. You ain't going to last forever. Okay, you're not going to keep running this kingdom how you've been running it. You ain't going to be in power, right? You're going to be removed from power, right? Because you established a city with blood. And the Lord said, woe to that. Woe, destruction. So you can't be prolonged, right? It says, so neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before God. You didn't fear God when you was doing all this madness. You thought you was God, you know? You thought you could do what the hell you wanted to do because you had the power. You was given the power. The power is in your hand to do whatever you wanted to do to Jake. Because nobody was going to say anything or do anything or help. Nobody mightier than you were going to say anything, man. Because you was the mightiest. You know? Who was going to, what the scripture say, who says how thou doest? No one was going to step in and say, oh, you shouldn't be doing that to these Negroes, man. They're people too. And you come out with all this fucking bullshit like, you know, you're, was it 3/5 of a man or some stupid shit? You know, you treated us like beasts, man. Like we had no value, like no human value. You know, we didn't get to have the same treatment or respect as other people on the earth. You know, that you could treat us like animals essentially. It's disposable, and that's what you did. But we that's what the funny thing is. We are the highest value of people on the earth. Okay, we're the sons of God, man, and you mess with the wrong powers children, man. you mess with the wrong dude's children, and it's gonna be some John Wick type shit. You're all gonna get laid out. All right. So that's the point on this one, right? So back here, let's go Isaiah 14:3. Let's get the point. Verse 3, right? Then it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. Did we not serve hard bondage in the land of America? The Lord says he's going to give us rest from that, though. All right, so thou shalt take out this proverb against the king of Babylon, okay, which is these Edomites, beginning with America, right? And shalt say, how have the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? Right? Your kingdom is not going to be prolonged. You're going to be taken out of power. Power is being taken away from you as we speak. Right? So the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He used to smote the people in wrath with a continuous stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. Ain't nobody gonna come and save you. Just like nobody came to save us, ain't nobody gonna come and save you, man. No one's gonna intervene between you and the judgment the Lord is bringing against you, man. All right? And no one's gonna stop that. Okay, none of your enchantments, none of your witchcrafts is gonna prevent the judgments coming to you. All right? It's Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 2. And know ye this day, for I speak not with your children which have not known, and which have not seen the chastisement of the Lord your God, his greatness, his mighty hand, and his stretched out arm, and his miracles, and his acts, which he did in the midst of Egypt, unto Pharaoh the king of Egypt, and unto all his land. Right? Everything got messed up in Egypt, man. That was the punishment. according to what they've done to the children of Israel. America is going to receive this worse treatment, right? So that in verse 4, and what he did unto the army of Egypt, again, the American military is going to be destroyed. Okay, a lot of them will be destroyed during the World War III in the Middle East, in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. But when the Lord returns, okay, whatever's left of these, of the American army, of the world armies, right, they're going to be destroyed, right? All the armies of the world are going to be destroyed. This is and these miracles and these acts which he did in the midst of Egypt, and unto Pharaoh the king of Egypt, and unto all his land, and what he did unto the army of Egypt, unto their horses and unto their chariots. Okay, modern day, tanks and fighter jets, whatever, right? How he made the water of the Red Sea to overflow them as they pursued after you, and how the Lord have destroyed them unto this day. All right, and you're going to be remain destroyed. It's Jeremiah 25. So verse 13 says, I will bring upon the land all my words which I have pronounced against it, even all that is written in this book, which Jeremiah hath prophesied against all nations. For many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of them also, and I will recompense them according to their deeds and according to the works of their own hands. Right? These nations have, like I said, have been ruling over us and abusing us, exploiting us. All right? Because remember, the order of things is that these nations are meant to be our servants, and yet they're taking full advantage of the fact that the Lord's chastising us, man, and they're doing what they want with us, man, in these different lands that we're in. All right, it says verse 15 says, for thus saith the Lord God of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it, and they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them. Then took I the cup at the Lord's hand, and made all nations to drink unto whom the Lord had sent me, to wit, Jerusalem and the cities of Judah and the kings thereof and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation, and astonishment, and hissing, and a curse, as it is this day. All right, so we had to drink of the cup of the Lord's wrath. Okay, i.e., we went into captivity, i.e., we were made desolate, our land was taken from us, we were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, even more so than ever before. And like I said, in the hand of our enemies, man, dumbed down, don't know who we are. All right, under the curses, right? Verse 19, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his servants, and his princes, and all his people, and all the mingled people of the kings of the land of Uz, and all the kings of the land of the Philistines, and Ashkelon, and Azar, and Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod, Edom, and Moab, and the children of Ammon, and all the kings of Tyrus, and all the kings of Zidon, and the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea, Dedan, and Timar, and Buz, and all that are in the utmost corners, all the kings of Arabia, all the kings of the mingled people that dwelt in the desert, all the kings of Zimri, and all the kings of Elam, and all the kings of the Medes, and all the kings of the north, far and near, one with another, and all the kingdoms of the world, which are upon the face of the earth, and the king of Shishak shall drink after them. So the Lord is putting the cup to all these guys, man, to destroy them. Right? That's what's coming. It says, therefore thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, drink ye, and be drunken, and spew, and fall, and rise no more, because of the sword which I shall send among you, or I will send among you. Right? When Yahushua returns, he's going to take the crowns of all these nations, man. So they're not going to rise into power ever again. Right? That is the Lord's judgment when Yahushua returns. Okay, that's what's going to be accomplished. And it shall be, verse 28, and it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup at thy hand to drink, then thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts. Not that we're saying it. The Lord said it. Ye shall certainly drink. And that's the same thing with the prophets are doing right now. Right here teaching these things, right? Telling you the downfall of this kingdom and this wickedness, right? Telling you you got to pay. And you can say as much as you want, like, you don't think you should pay, it's not, it's got nothing to do with us and blah, 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 or things have changed, whatever excuses you got. It doesn't matter. See, you can say what you want to say, but the Lord said, ye shall certainly drink. Right? There ain't no amount of talking that's going to change that. Right? Ain't nothing to do with us, the Israelites, even though we want it to happen. It got nothing to do with us and, the chip on the shoulder that we got on and all this kind of business. It's got nothing to do with that, man. The Lord has demanded it. He's decreed it that these nations are to be destroyed because of what you've done. Okay, you owe the Most High and you're going to pay. That's what we're here telling you, man. It says, for lo, I begin to bring evil on a city which is called by my name. Right? The Lord chastised his own people for going off and being wicked. You don't think the Lord is going to turn around and do worse to the heathen that he don't care about, that he don't love? So, and should ye be utterly unpunished? No, you're not going to go unpunished. Ye shall not be unpunished, for I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth, saith the Lord of hosts. So therefore prophesy thou against them all these words. That's what we do. And say unto them, the Lord shall roar from on high and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout as they that tread the grapes against all the inhabitants of the earth. And a noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord have a controversy with the nations. Okay, he's got a problem with them because of what they've done to his people. Just like the Lord had a problem with Egypt, what they were doing to his people. You're going to find out who the Lord's people are, man, and what you've done to them. And like I said, we fit the prophecies of the Israelites. That's what identifies us as the Israelites. Okay, ain't not no DNA, not no records, because none of that exists. Right? The records don't exist. They don't go back far enough to identify anybody. Okay, the DNA doesn't tell you, where you're from. DNA, what's the ancestry tree and all that shit. It goes back 200 years, 300 years, or whatever the hell it is. It don't go back far enough to tell you anything. All right. So all that stuff's bullshit. It's these prophecies, man. It's the spirit that identifies the Israelites. That's what we got to go by. And that's what all these clowns don't want to use. They don't want to use the scriptures to clarify their claims. These small hats can't use the scriptures to clarify their claims. That's why they want to use all these fucking BS sciences that they clinging on to. And your ignorance. But by the prophecies, man, and through the spirit, are the Israelites identified. Okay? It's like I said, when that's all revealed, man, everybody else in a big fucking shit of trouble, man. Alright, so the noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord have a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord. Thus says the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. And the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth. Because where Israel? Israel in all corners of the earth. That's why judgment's coming to all corners of the earth, because, like I said, atrocities happen to Israel all over the globe. All these nations are going to be destroyed. That's part of the reason why we've been scattered. So all these nations could be judged. The Lord pissed off with all of you, man. It says, they shall not be lamented, neither gathered, nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground. All right. That's pretty much the point on that. I think this is the last one now. Jeremiah 49 verse 12. Okay, it's kind of reiterating, what we just read, right? And it says in Jeremiah 49 verse 12, for thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. Okay, again, the Israelites. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. All right, so we don't care how long it's been, or Oh, that was ages ago, and that's time's past. You think you get to get away just because time's passed? We read that earlier, man. Hey, you have to pay. Doesn't matter how long it is. Whether you feel like it should be forgotten, who cares what the fuck you think? We're dealing with what the Most High thinks right now. This is thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. For I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, that Bosra shall become a desolation. Okay, again, this is speaking about America, right? A reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual wastes. Okay, again, never built up again, never be inhabited again. I have heard a rumor from the Lord, an ambassador sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together, come against her, and rise up to the battle. The Lord is orchestrating war in the earth, man. World War III is on the horizon. Okay, it's going to be fought between America and NATO, their allies, and Russia and their allies. And it's going to be fought down there in the Middle East for the most part. It's a world war, so it's going to be multinational war. Different geographic places, but the majority of it's going to be fought in the Middle East, in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. All right. It says, for lo, I'll make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. Okay, that's these Edomites, man. Thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thy heart. This is what that's what it is. Your pride, it makes you believe that you can't be judged, or you shouldn't be judged. You shouldn't have to pay, right? Who's gonna make us pay? You're thinking all these things. No one can make us pay. I don't want to pay. You're thinking all these things, man. But ultimately, you're gonna be made to pay. The Most High is gonna make you pay, because he has power over you. Okay, you got power over us, so you can shunt us. You can tell us, well, we don't need to address that. You can do that because Jake can't do nothing about that. Jake can't rise up against you and do anything about that. So we have to just take what you say. But the Lord don't have to do that. The Lord can bring judgment against you, man. Ain't nothing you can do when the Lord brings judgment. This is that thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thy heart, O that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill. Thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle above all the nations, right? Looking down upon everybody. I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord, right? And that time was when you started putting spacecrafts into space and that kind of stuff, right? Also Edom shall be a desolation, everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. I hear the rain. Right? So yeah, America's gonna become a desolation, man. And it's gonna become like a monument in the earth. All right, verse 18, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, okay, which was by fire, right? Saith the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. Right? So again, with fire, it's gonna be destroyed, and no man's gonna live there. All right, so that's the ultimate judgment that's gonna happen to America for its part in the treatment of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, and the slavery and the oppression that they put upon our people, man. America is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. All right, and so America is going to receive the judgment that Egypt, got. Except for this one, this is going to be by fire. That's how the Lord decided to judge America. But like I said, Egypt had to pay. Egypt never got away with it. America's not going to get away with it, man. And they did the same thing, if not worse. All right, so there's no escaping the judgment of the Lord. There's no escaping the crimes that you've done. Okay, you're not going to be acquitted ever. Okay, no matter how much time passes by. Right, the Lord is just merely biding His time, or allowing you to stack up more wickedness, man. So when the judgment comes, it's going to be great. All right. So Lord, when this has been edifying, I'm going to end it here. Okay. So yeah, until next time, man, I'll say shalom.